I'd like to call the second panel to, and it's a members panel, to speak on their respective piece of legislation. We have Senator Tom Carper from Delaware and Congressman John Carney from Delaware, Mr. Chaffetz from Utah, Mr. Denham from California, Mr. Gallegly from California, Mr. Pierce from New Mexico, and Ms. Songus from Massachusetts, and Mr. Turner from New York. I recognize that all members, we all have schedules, and I recognize that, and so and some of them have imminent schedules, and I've been advised of that. So I'm going to start, and I recognize that if you finish your testimony and you leave, you're not being rude, you're simply trying to accommodate the responsibilities that you have. So with that, we'll start with Mr. Gallegly of California.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and understand your schedule this morning, and I will be leaving quickly, and it will not be out of anything personal to this committee that I had the honor to serve on for 24 years. Thank you for holding this hearing today on H.R. 4109, the Los Padres Conservation and Recreation Act. This legislation is the product of over 2 years of negotiations with various stakeholders and users of the Los Padres National Forest. As a result of this work, I'm proud to stand here today and support the legislation coming from wilderness support from wilderness organizations, off-road vehicle organizations, local business and ag groups. This type of broad-based coalition is rarely achieved on this type of legislation. The groups endorsing H.R. 4109 include the Wilderness Society, California Wilderness Coalition, Pew Campaign for America's Wilderness, Americans for Responsible Recreation Access, American Motorcycle Association, Motorcycle Industry Coalition, Ventura County Coalition of Labor, Agriculture and Business, United Water Conservation District, Western States Petroleum Association, and the list goes on. This legislation will designate approximately 63,000 acres as wilderness, none of which will change anyone's access to the forest. There is no off-road activity in any of this acreage, with much of it largely being managed as wilderness already. It will designate approximately 89 miles of waterways of wild, scenic, or recreational rivers. This includes specific provisions to protect off-road trails that use rivers during the dry season and protections for the California Department of Transportation to adequately maintain a vital California highway that travels through the middle of the forest. The bill will create 18,000-acre Condor Ridge scenic area, locking all current usage of the area and preventing any future development, allowing for the preservation of pristine viewshed of the California coast and Pacific Ocean. In addition, this legislation will indefinitely preserve approximately 65,000 acres for off-road vehicle use through the creation of 2 congressionally designated areas. Both of these areas are already in use by off-road community. It will simply be preserving these areas from possible closures in the future. This legislation will also allow for a long-awaited exchange to occur between the Forest Service and United Water Conservation District. This will allow United Water to reduce its operating costs at Lake Piru Reservoir and pass these savings on to my constituents in the form of cheaper water. Finally, the legislation will also change the manner in which fires will be managed in the forest. Firefighters will be able to continue all suppressive activities within the entire forest, along with suppression, and the act will allow for mechanized equipment such as chainsaws and bulldozers in the wilderness areas to help prevent and fight any fires from spreading throughout the forest and onto populated areas. This legislation will enhance the Los Padres National Forest for all users of all kinds of future, and I urge the committee to mark up this legislation and move it to the floor as soon as possible. Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to close by adding one other comment and raise another issue that is facing all of us right now, and of course that's the fires in our national forests. As you know, the wildfires are raging through national forests, adjoining areas throughout parts of Colorado, and your home in the home of who I thought was going to be chairing the hearing this morning, Mr. Bishop's home state of Utah. Firefighting systems are available to assist putting out this horrific fires and have already killed one person, destroyed untold thousands of homes. As you know, one of the fires has caused the evacuation of the Air Force Academy, and I wanted to highlight this issue and request your support in urging the Forest Service to immediately call up all available MAFS units. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you for your consideration this morning.
Good. Thank you very much for your testimony. I recognize the gentlelady from Massachusetts, Ms.